Last but not least, but I think really brings us all back to light. It touches on what Chef Daniel spoke about, what Chef Warner has spoken about. Again, even pigtailing off of what Gary just spoke about a moment ago. Chef Tison, who recently has been awarded the prestigious Michelin star of thousands of restaurants studied by the Michelin judges. Only an elite few received the coveted Michelin star, a 15-year veteran, the youngest appointed executive chef at the legendary Plaza Hotel. Tison's Nouvelle Cuisine has earned extensive critical acclaim. During his tenure in New York, he captured a number of awards, including Food Arts Silver Spoon, a gold medal in the New York International Food Show Exposition, and the first prize at New York City Hotel and Motel Culinary Olympics. Tison took on the important role of AVP of System Food Services and Corporate Chef within the Office and Patient and Customer Experience for Northwell Hospitals. After serving as executive chef at the Fairmont Sonoma Mission Inn and Spa in California. There he led the team of receiving the celebrated Michelin star recognition for 3 consecutive years. Prior to that, he was executive chef at the Plaza Hotel in New York for 14 years. This is a Michelin star chef who has basically changed his career path to making a change within the healthcare community, showing that great food and great health can meet and be one in one. Chef Tison, it's absolutely a pleasure to speak with you again, and I look forward to your presentation this afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Is the deck ready and the slides? Yeah, I guess so. So we can go to the first slide.
What is it about hospital food? How can we demand the most advanced, curated treatments, but never question the lifeless fare served 3 times a day? Yet here we are, with meals that are more bland than beneficial. So what in the name of green Jell-O happened?
You traditionally got lots and lots of complaints about food in hospital settings. I know I've received quite a lot over the years.
One leader who said, no, our food is good here at this hospital. I said, well, if you think the food is adequate, how about you eat the food with your leadership team? So they decided to order off the patient menu for 1 week. After day 2, I believe, they got it and they said, we can't eat that.
And that's when things really got interesting. Enter Chef Bruno Tison, Michelin-starred chef and the change agent Northwell needed. As soon as he arrived, everything immediately changed. Well, not exactly.
When Bruno first started, he used to come back from the site visit, so when he spent the day at a hospital, and he said, it's terrible. We have a long way to go.
There was food from 2012 in our freezers. We were buying pre-cooked frozen hamburgers, pre-cooked frozen fish. I think the best tools in the kitchen were a can opener and a pair of scissors. We have converted our freezers into refrigerated space. We start cooking with fresh food. We basically have brought the restaurant philosophy to healthcare. I looked at resumes of chefs that work in the hotel restaurant industry, who worked in the best hotels and restaurants in the world or in the United States. Where are the rolls coming from?
Those come from Amy's Bakery.
Amy's Bakery. Fantastic. Gentlemen, great job. That's perfect like that. Great job, Stuart. Thank you.
It doesn't have to be terrible. It just doesn't, right? Like, there's no reason why somebody can't cook the same meal in a restaurant or a hotel, wherever you go, right? A stove's a stove, an oven's an oven.
Any patient request, regardless of the diet, we've told all staff members, and everyone knows that it's our mission, whatever it is, we've got a refrigerator full of food. We can do anything.
In that case, Chef Bill, I'll take the rack of lamb.
I've worked in hotels, country clubs, unlike working at a restaurant where you can just throw butter, cream, and salt to flavor everything. In a hospital, you couldn't do it.
So I actually was able to create my own menu.
Here at LIJ, we are the largest culinary facility in Northwell. We average around 5,000 patient meals a day.
Patients have very little control when they're in the hospital. And if there's something that can brighten their day, give them a smile, share with a family member, that can change a day, that can change an outcome.
Very much like in a restaurant when a table asks for the chef to come out and to thank them how great it was. That's what's happening now.
Well, this hospital here, to be honest with you, and the food here has been phenomenal. This is not hospital food.
We had one letter that said, "This is the best salmon burger that I've had from in New York City, anywhere."
It's about changing not only the food, but changing the culture, the food and nutrition culture in healthcare.
We're improving the health and the wellness of the people and the communities we serve. The food plays a big role in it, and that makes me happy.
Food is health. It's important. It's been one of those things that we've done that has made us distinctive, and we should be very, very proud indeed.
Come in. Hello, Chef.
How are you?
Good morning, I'm great, thank
Russ.
you.
I'm Bruno.
Hi, your team is phenomenal. Been to the Plaza. Your French toast, as good as the Plaza. This is the best hospital. I don't mind being in the hospital this time. I just can't get over how wonderful everything has been.
Thank you. You have my name and number on there if you have any issues.
No, I'll call you Saturday night when I want dinner.
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon again. It's an honor to be speaking this afternoon. The first slide, the last slide that you saw on this video is something that really doesn't happen very often in the hospital, where the executive chef and myself and also the service staff visit our patients. Before going over the slide, I'd like to say that part of my decision to leave the hotel restaurant industry after over 35 years in the top hotels and top restaurants of this world was because of the commitment of our CEO, Michael Donning, but also because Northwell is one of the largest healthcare company in the United States. It's the largest employer in New York State with about 80,000 employees. We serve about 10 million meals a year, including patient meals, visitors meals, and as well as our colleagues. Very important to feed your staff very well. And that's what made the difference for me to this commitment to change food in healthcare on such a scale. And I have to say that what Northwell has taken on today is just truly an amazing example that hopefully many other healthcare companies in the United States will take on. The first slide is basically to express our vision in terms of food and nutrition and the service that we give to our patient experience. Second slide, please. So 9%, what does it mean? It means it's a rating. We are rated by Press Guinea. Press Guinea, I'm sure that you're all familiar with Press Guinea. Press Guinea is a company that helps healthcare to rate themselves among each other. So the 9 percentile represent basically our scores on the first quarter of 2006. And in 2006, it meant that 91% of the other hospitals in the United States were performing better than us, sadly to say. Next slide. So in a nutshell, the way we are doing it is we are turning hospital from liability to an asset. That's something very important. As you know, there is not too many healthcare systems in the United States that are focused on food. They looked at food as being, you know, a cost, a liability, and we want to transform that, and we want to make it an asset. I think that today, you know, we all at one point will have some sort of illness, and we may have to stay in a hospital. And I think that there is many healthcare systems, many hospitals that have a great doctor or the equivalent, but there's not too many healthcare systems or hospitals have great food. So if you can have great medical clinical care and at the same time eat well and recover faster by because you're well nourished, I think it's something very important. Next slide, please. So again, in a nutshell, how did we do it? Well, it was simple, but at the same time complicated, because you can imagine Northwell, the size of Northwell. We have 23 hospitals all the way across New York State. 17 hospitals have a kitchen. I'm sorry, 16 hospitals have a kitchen out of 17. And it took a little bit of time. Actually, I've been here for 5 years at Northwell, and we're starting to see the tip of the iceberg. But how did we do? We were using prepackaged, processed, preservative, frozen, fried, canned food, as you can imagine, and we basically changed that. We brought the restaurant philosophy to healthcare. We use exclusively fresh products that are in season. My chefs, and I'll say something, out of 17 hospitals, I brought 15 different executive chefs into the system. They buy fresh food on a daily basis, like you would in a restaurant. And we make sure that what we're buying is fresh, healthy, nutritious. Definitively, we don't buy anything. We don't buy GMO product. We make sure that everything we buy is antibiotic, hormone-free, and I'll come back to that a little bit later. 90% of our food was kept in a freezer, and I actually converted 90% of this refrigerator into refrigerator, because we are exclusively working with fresh food now. Next slide, please. So the next slide is basically a statement from Northwell and signed by our CEO, Michael Darling, that Northwell Health has transformed the way we buy, cook, and serve food through our organization to support the healing and well-being of our patients, team member, and community, elevating the taste and quality of food we serve. Next slide, please. And this is where we get to the very important, interesting thing. How did we do it? Well, basically, you know, we no longer buy frozen vegetable. We buy everything fresh. We have, I have selected 2 produce vendors, some of the best produce vendor that the best restaurant of New York City are using for our chefs to choose from. We use exclusively 100% Strauss pasture raised grass-fed beef, grass finish. This is an American pasture, like I say, grass-fed, grass-finished beef, antibiotic, hormone-free. We're probably the only healthcare system in the United States to use an American grass-fed, grass-finished beef. All the poultry and seafood we buy has to be antibiotic, hormone-free. The seafood has to be either wild or best aquaculture certified. We also started a program with Farm Promises, which is an organization of farmers that humanly raise pork and with a vegetarian fed, antibiotic, hormone-free. We have brought 2 artisanal local bakeries that bake fresh bread for us on a daily basis. Actually, I can name them. It's Amy's and Or Washer, the very famous in New York City and probably some of the top artisanal bakery in New York. When I first arrived 5 years ago, the chefs were buying bread 1 month at a time because we were buying bread that was loaded with preservatives. So you didn't have to buy bread every day. So I started, to bring talented chefs, and we brought back the restaurant philosophy to our hospital by buying fresh fish, fresh bread, fresh meat, fresh vegetable on a daily basis. We also revamped our dessert choices. A lot of our desserts are prepared by some of the top pastry shops in the area. We have started to hire pastry chefs, as we didn't have pastry chefs in the past in our hospitals, and we are making sure that our desserts respond to the nutritional requirement that we have for our patient, and our chef works very closely with our registered dietitians. We, of course, have eliminated all deep fryer for our staff, for our patients, but also for our staff. And we also have reduced all our sugar beverages by 80%. Next slide, please. So, as you can imagine, in healthcare, we did not focus on food. So, of course, we were not able to hire great chefs, and great chefs didn't want to work in healthcare. So now that we're changing that, also Culinary Institute, and some of our chefs, like I said, I brought in 15 chefs over the past 15 years. I hired our first pastry chef for Long Island Jewish Medical Center, and we are building a pastry shop. Most of our chefs in the company comes from renowned restaurants, from hotels or standalone restaurants such as the French Laundry, Four Seasons Hotel, Fairmont, Ritz-Carlton, the Plaza Hotel, and as I say, the French Culinary Institute of New York. And many of our chefs have worked in Michelin star restaurants in the US or in Europe. I hired an executive chef for Lenox Hospital who started his career as a doctor. He graduated from the University of Paris and was a doctor for Doctor Without Borders for about 4 or 5 years until he realized that being a doctor was not his passion. And he went to work in Michelin 3-star restaurant all over Europe, had his own Michelin restaurant in the suburb of Paris, which received 2 Michelin stars, and is now the executive chef of Lenox Hospital. I also hired people who have a master's degree in education at Hospital Syosset, a gentleman who has a tremendous culinary background besides being a great teacher. And then lately, I'm hiring another executive chef who has worked with the Ritz-Carlton hotels, but also opened up Paul Bocuse Culinary School in Guatemala. So this is the type of chef that we're bringing into our organization. We also have created a tuition program for any culinary graduate. So if you do graduate from a culinary school, and if you choose to come to work with Northwell, we will give you a $10,000 tuition towards your student loan. And we also have an annual culinary competitions where we do a little bit like a French contest called the MOF, Meilleur Ouvrier de France. And we have a theme for an appetizer, main course, desserts. And the chef competes, they submit their recipes. And that has to be also done in collaboration with the registered dietitians, because we want to make sure that the dishes are following our nutrition requirements. And then we have a final, and the day of the final, we invite doctors and celebrity chefs to judge the competitions. Last year, we had Chef Lydia Bastianic, who was our judge, and hopefully this year I'll try to invite Danielle. Next slide, please. Another thing that I forgot to mention in terms of job security, unfortunately, with what happened in the past 2 years with COVID, a lot of restaurants had to close, a lot of people lost their job. One thing that I have to say in healthcare is we do have job securities, because hospitals never close. And we offer great benefits. We offer competitive salaries. That's what it was one of the first things that I have done when I started with Northwell. I looked at the salary of the executive chef and I said, oh my God, I said, no wonder we can't find anybody good, because we were, I don't know if we were not paying them well or if we were paying them to their level, but in any way, we had to raise our compensation and offering to our executive chef. And now, then, how do we continue improving? Well, like I said, I've been here for 5 years, and I feel that I have another 5 years of work to get where we want to be. We continue focusing on teaching the staff. We created a recipe database where all the chefs can share recipes, or we create menus. So we, in healthcare, menus didn't change. I had a hospital who had the same menu for over 10 years. And now we do change our menu every 6 months. The goal is to change menus every 3 months seasonally. But another thing that you probably don't know is when we give a menu to a patient, we have to discard this menu. So we use millions of menus per year, and we have to be very careful, of course, with the cost of reprinting. And, we have to, it is a challenge to reprint new menus every 3 months. We changed the appearance of our chefs. We put some standards in place. Chefs used to wear whatever they want. So we standardize our chef's uniform with a nice white French hat, a nice white French chef's jacket, white apron, black pant or checkered pant. We have implemented in-room dining versus cook serve. In-room dining is the new term for room service in many of our hospitals. As you have seen on the first slide, I have implemented patient rounding, where the executive chef, food and nutrition director, and the server, or myself, we visit a certain number of patients on a daily basis and get them their feedback so we can recover in case. And like I said, we redesign our menu. We are constantly redesigning our menu to look as close as possible to a restaurant menu, to transport our patient in the world of food and hope they will forget for a few minutes that they're in a hospital. One thing that I'm trying to change progressively is the way our hospital menu looks. Some of our hospital had the picture of the entrance of the hospital was on the first page of the menu. There was many clinical and medical terms and special diets. And, quite honestly, when a patient is sick and when they read the menu, they just want to order their food. They're not interested in reading about their illness or their diet. That, in my opinion, is something that needs to be explained to you by a human being. Like when you go to a restaurant, it's the maitre d' that explains you the menu. And if you have some type of a dietary restriction, this is the maitre d' again, who helps you and assists you with that. So overall, what we are trying to do is we're trying to bring hospitality industry to the hospital. Next slide, please. Like I'm going to the press gain rating, which was in the 9th percentile in 2016. I started in 2017, and since then we brought it up to 81%. Our goal is to be in the 90%, but it's getting extremely difficult to get there. Another thing that we have noticed is that a lot of other healthcare companies have noticed what we are doing, and because they are in the same system as us with the press gainer rating, they're starting to improve the quality of their food as well, because we've noticed that because it has impacted our scores. Because as they are doing better, it gets more difficult for us to get to the top as well. So I feel very proud, and my team as well, to have contributed to improve the quality of food in healthcare overall in the entire country. That being said, that's the end for me, and I will be on the panel for question and answers.
Thank you, Chef. I really appreciate it. Really a great change agent, and I love that you provided that information that basically demonstrates that. Again, culinary training, you went from looking at production managers to hiring real chefs, poaching them from hotels and restaurants and seeing that quality of food. And then they focus on ingredients, I think is also extremely important. So thank you very much. Look forward to our panel this afternoon.